Welcome to the 2024 Los Angeles Vendor Orientation Meeting for Asian American Expo, K-Play Fest, Anime Impulse, and Sneaker Expo. This is a virtual stream, but the event itself is happening January 13th, 14th, 2024. So the event is happening at the Fairplex in Pomona once again. I'm sure you guys are all very familiar, but in case you've never been, this is a picture of what it looks like. And this is an agenda of the topics that we'll be covering in today's meeting. So we'll be going over important dates, directions and map, floor plans, setup and decorations, show policies, COVID policies, electricity, questions and answers, and we will also be having a health orientation for our food vendors. Questions are welcomed in the live chat, so if you do have any questions, go ahead and type it in the chat, and we do have staff on standby who will be answering your questions.
If you have any questions, please contact our main information contact at
info@aaeexpo.com.
If you have a more specific question towards your event, for Asian American Expo, it is info@aaexpo.com. Anime Impulse, help@animeimpulse.com. For K-Play Fest, help@kplayfest.com. And for Sneaker Expo, help@sneakerexpo.com. Moving on to our setup hours. Setup begins on Friday, January 12th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You may also set up on event days, January 13th, Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and also Sunday, January 14th, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. There will be security on site to direct traffic for move in and move out. And please be aware that vehicles are only allowed on site during Friday setup hours. Vendors are responsible for transporting their own goods, and vendors must handcart their merchandise from the parking lot on event days. Event days. Our event days are January 13th, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., January 14th, Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. as well. Please expect heavy vehicle traffic upon arrival on both days. All vendors are expected to arrive 1 hour before the start of each show day. On Sunday, we recommend arriving 2 hours prior due to traffic from potential other events. Move out. Move out begins Sunday post-event January 14th from approximately 8 p.m. to midnight. No vehicles will be allowed on site until all guests have vacated the event. Therefore, move out may be delayed if attendees are still on event premises at 8 p.m. Vendors may transport goods to their vehicles after each event day via hand cart, and any products left behind after midnight will be trashed. Moving on to directions. For directions and map, all vendors must enter through gate 17 for move in and move out. Move in is Friday, January 12th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. On event day, Anime Impulse vendors only will be entering through gate 9. You will be charged parking and it is $18 per entry. Asian American Expo vendors, K-Play Fest vendors, and Sneaker Expo vendors will enter through gate 17 on event days. Parking price is also $18 per entry.
Okay, so we're gonna just quickly go over the layouts for each event. So Asian American Expo, you will mostly be in Hall 4, but there's also Hall 5, which is a mostly prepackaged food area. And then Sneaker Expo will be taking over Hall 6, and K-Play Fest will be in Hall 7. Anime Impulse will be in halls 8, 9, and 10, and that is how we're taking over the Fairplex.
Moving on to indoor setup notes. An indoor booth will come with a 10x10 booth pipe and drape with 2 chairs and an 8-foot table. Artist Alley will get 2 chairs and 1 6-foot table. All events use the same indoor setup type. There will be different booth drape color configurations by each event. Outdoor setup notes. A standard booth, non-food, outside will be a 10x10 booth, 3 sides enclosed. You'll get 2 chairs and an 8-foot table. For a food booth setup, you'll get a 10x10 booth with 4 sides enclosed and a mesh wall front, 2 chairs, and an 8-foot table. More decoration notes. Vendors are responsible for all booth decorations and display. This is lights, banners, signs, brochures, TVs, goodies, and etc. All decoration materials must be made of non-flammable material. The fire marshal may ask for proof. All booth decorations may also not exceed 8 feet in height. Your pipe and drape booth is 8 feet high, so you can use that as a reference. Vendors are liable for any replacement costs for rental equipment damage.
Event admission. So, e-tickets or physical tickets are still needed in order to access the event. So even if you have a badge, just want to make sure we're very clear, tickets are still needed for access on event days. Printed or mobile device displaying e-tickets are acceptable. Badges are only used for vendor identifying purposes, and hand stamps are required for re-entry. So if you plan on leaving during event days, please make sure you get a hand stamp. This is a sample of what the badges look like, but again, we want to remind everyone that a pass or a ticket is still needed in order to enter the event.
Moving on to venue safety. We will have public safety security patrol grounds during event hours, and your vendor booth must be staffed at all times. So please don't leave any of your valuables behind. The event organizer is not responsible for anything lost, stolen, or anything damaged. Personal safety. There are no security in the parking lots. Therefore, you should take precautions with any of your valuable goods, for example, your cash boxes. And also, please refrain from leaving any valuables in parked vehicles. Once again, the event organizer is not responsible for anything stolen or damaged. Food and beverage policy. Only Coca-Cola or American beverages may be sold or sampled at the Fairplex. There are no limits on craft or Asian beverages. Only the Dasani bottled water is allowed to be sold. COVID safety. Health and safety is always our priority at Impulse Universe. We follow California state law, which means that policies may change without notice. We will update our COVID policies as the event date gets closer, depending on the situation. Moving on to internet needs. There are wireless and hardline internet options available. Please inquire with your respective event vendor FAQ for ordering information. The deadline to order is January 11th, 2024. Convention Electric is our electrical provider for indoor and outdoor power. Please order sufficient voltage for your booth electrical needs and order online by December 28th for a discounted rate. Some electrical safety notes. Once again, please order sufficient electricity for the entire weekend. Vendors must prepare their own extension cords, and please do not daisy chain your powered cables. Electricity will go live beginning Friday.
Okay, so just a reminder to arrive by 9 a.m. on Saturday, January 13th, and by 8 a.m. on Sunday, January 14th. Again, it's an hour earlier on Sunday just because there's a lot of traffic from previous experiences in the past, so just make sure that you guys are aware. Another reminder, tickets are needed for entry, so while you have a badge, you will also be sent tickets. Those tickets are for you and your staff. They're not for giveaways or for friends and family, etc. All right, so we're going to move on to frequently asked questions. So let's get started. Valerie, can I get into Asian American Expo if I have a ticket for K-Play Fest?
Yes, any ticket to any respective event will grant you access to all the other events.
Why is Gate 17 used on setup and takedown while Gate 9 is used for event day parking?
Gate 17 is the only gate that will allow you to drive up to the buildings. That way it will help you best with setup and takedown.
Yes, and I also actually want to mention that Gate 9 is used for vendors for Anime Impulse because it's closer to Anime Impulse, and then Gate 17 is used for all the other events because that gate will get you closer to the event for K-Play Fest, Sneaker Expo, and Asian American Expo. Valerie, can I bring my own power generator?
No, power generators are not allowed by the venue. Please order your power through Convention Electric, who is our electrical provider.
How about if I'm allowed to ship goods or product samples directly to the Fairplex?
The venue does not have any shipping receiving services, therefore you cannot ship any of your goods or samples to the venue.
Can I bring in my own decorator or production setup company if I don't want to go with the one you guys provide?
Yes, you may. However, you do need to inform us ahead of time. Therefore, we can receive all the necessary paperwork to allow them to set up for you.
How will I know how to get to Hall 8 during move-in if I've never been to the Fairplex?
There will be signage throughout the entire venue that will direct you to the respective hall. You may also check out the event map on your respective event website.
How close can I get to the buildings during move-in, move-out days?
You will be allowed to drive up to the buildings on move-in and move-out days as long as you are not blocking any fire lanes.
How high can I set up my vendor booth?
You can set up your booth up to 8 feet high, and that is the height of the pipe and drape booth you receive.
Can I bring a tent top display to go over my space?
No, you are not allowed to have tents indoors at the Pomona Fairplay.
Can I play music from my booth?
You may, however, please reduce it to a low level. That way you don't disrupt other booths.
What's the earliest I can get to access the buildings to set up on Saturday and Sunday, the days of the event?
You may set up starting 7 a.m. on event days, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Is there a dedicated vendor entrance at both gates?
Yes, at our main entrance and at gate 9, there will be a respective vendor entrance to allow you to skip the line.
What is the latest time I can stay in the buildings at the end of each event day?
On Saturday, you can stay up an hour until 8 p.m., and on Sunday, you have until midnight.
Is there Wi-Fi available at the venue?
There is no free Wi-Fi available at the Fairplex. However, you can order through the Fairplex via your respective vendor FAQ.
Once the event starts, do you think I can still order electricity?
You may be able to order electricity still, however, the rate is at a higher rate.
What is your policy on counterfeit or gray market goods?
We do not condone counterfeit or gray market goods. If we do see something of the sort, we will take the precautions to remove it from our event.
All right, so this concludes the event notes for K-Play Fest, Asian American Expo, Anime Impulse, and Sneaker Expo. We are now going to move on to the health presentation. So thank you guys so much. If you're not food related, we will see you at the event.
And if you still have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat. We are still here to answer your questions.
All right, so let's move on to the health presentation.
All right. So our event follows the County of Los Angeles public health regulations, and all food vendors are required to have a temporary food facility vendor permit. The health department representatives will be on site before our event for all food vendor inspections.
Yes, so food vendors, basically if you are selling, displaying, sampling, anything that is consumable, so this includes dog food, cat food, etc., you will need to have a temporary food facility permit.
Right, and here are some food safety requirements. All food vendors are required to have a hand washing station, which is any 5-gallon container that can hold warm water at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit, a pump-style soap dispenser, paper towels, and a bucket to collect this wastewater. And some food temperature guidelines as well. Cold foods must be kept at 45 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Hot foods must be kept at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or above. And each booth must have an accurate probe thermometer, and please prepare sufficient cooling and heating equipment. Food vendors will be provided a shared sink for your warewashing needs, and also shared grease barrels will be provided for grease disposal. Please be mindful of other vendors when using shared spaces. All right, and that concludes all of our health orientation. Once again, your health and safety is our priority, so please follow these guidelines that we set for you guys.
Right, and if you guys do have any questions about food related or health related guidelines, please go ahead and contact your event representative, and they can get you in contact with the correct health department people. We are actually not part of the health department, so we're just trying to provide as much information as we can, but at the end of the day, we still need to have everything go through the LA County Department of Health. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. We're so excited to have you guys, and we hope to see you guys next year.
Thank you.